Hello, everyone. It's us again with Felicia and Jen. I'm Felicia, and there's no Jen, but I know she's listening. So, Jen, we miss you, and this is awkward doing this without you, but I have Rachel with me.
Hello.
And then later we'll have Cameron and Liz joining, but since I have Rachel, Rachel, we're going to hit a topic that some people don't want to talk about, but it's real life. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about race and relationships. I'm actually going to call this, Can They Come to Dinner?
Okay, that's good.
I was on Facebook one day and they showed a clip of, it was like a short of the 1967 movie, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, with Sidney Poitier, and I believe it's Kathleen or Catherine Hepburn. They were a couple, I think. No. That was the mother-in-law. Anyway, there was a white lady in the movie that he's engaged to, and they had to introduce, each other to their parents. The reaction was not the best.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, I text Jen, I said, I think we have a topic.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you, and first I want to say to all the families of Rachel, Cameron, and Liz, look, this is real life. They're not going to say anything to embarrass you, and plus we didn't tell you their last names, so people aren't going to know that they're related to you.
Right.
So the question to you is this. Let's say your partner is of a different race.
Okay.
Can you bring him home to the family?
I could, but I don't think it would be very invited. It depends on which family member. My mom is pretty open, but the rest of my family members are not. So luckily, my mom never spoke about things like that to me and my sister. So we weren't really raised in that type of way. But my cousins and all of like my aunts and uncles and stuff like that, they were very open with the fact that that's just something you don't do. Not saying that you can't be friends, but it's just something that you don't mix. You know what I mean? So, and luckily my sister has completely cut that off for my niece and my nephew. So they can just date whoever they want, whoever they like, you know what I mean? Which is a lot better than the old school way of thinking.
How important is your family's approval when it comes to matters of the heart? For you, how important is their approval?
That's kind of a double-edged sworded question for me, because I'm going to be really honest. Me and my dad's side of the family are not close. We don't mingle well with each other. We never really have. Even my grandmother on that side, I don't have much really a relationship with her. So their opinions to me does not matter at all. They're never going to be around that side of the family. And if they ever are, then it's going to be very brief. So that doesn't matter to me. I am, however, extremely close with like my immediate family and my mom's side of the family. So their opinion does matter to an extent. I don't think that it would be a huge deal, about what race they are, as opposed to how I get treated. Because my family does love Jimmy, so it made it easier for them to kind of accept him in. So it was an easy transition, but he is also white. So,
Would, if you were given, and I'm not saying that families do this, but some families might. Let's say Jimmy was black. Mm-hmm. And you two, you really love each other. And they said, Rachel, I'm sorry, but we cannot stand behind you on this. Would there be a wedding?
Yeah.
So you would still go with it? Okay.
Absolutely. Because if they loved me, then they would support whatever my decision was. I will say it's weird because one of my cousins, is in a relationship with a black man and she is pregnant. And she is now disowned from the family. The family has nothing to do with her. And again, this is on my dad's side of the family. So again, I don't have much of a relationship with them. But like her pictures got torn up and everything. So it was extremely.
Where do you think that comes from? I guess, I wasn't raised that way.
Right.
My parents never talked about you can't marry or date anyone outside of your race.
Right.
It was just all about how you're treated. Mm-hmm. So I'm just trying to figure out from your perspective, where do you think it comes from that being with someone outside of your race is just wrong?
I think it definitely is a wrong ideology, however you say it, from like their mom and dad and their, my great uncles and aunts, and just passed down from generation to generation. And nobody on that side of the family can think for themselves. So, luckily though, I kind of realized that their opinions, I mean, they can have their opinions. Mm-hmm. Everybody can have their opinions.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I don't agree with their opinions. So I'm not really sure where it comes from. Like, I'm not really sure. It's more of a hate thing for absolutely no reason. And I just choose not to hate people. So
yeah, like for me, race is mixing. I'm used to it. All of my nephews are biracial, and again, it's something I grew up with. So for me, it's about a person meeting a person and loving that person, and not even looking at the color. Of course, you see the color, but for me, it's like you love who you love.
Right.
When I was single, I was an equal opportunist when it came to the men, because it all depends on how did we connect. It wasn't about race. And because to me, there's ignorance, there's nastiness, there's cheaters, there's liars in every single race. So for that cousin, do you embrace her? Does she talk to you?
Her and I have had a rocky relationship since we were children. I'm not going to say that I don't love her, because I do, but love and like are two different things.
Yeah.
I am very proud of her for having the courage to do what she is doing, even though it means that her family doesn't want her around. So for that type of courage, I do commend her. But we don't have the best relationship. So am I proud of her for stepping out of that realm of ridiculous thinking that my family has? Yes, I am. But as far as anything else, no. I'm happy. I'm happy for her that she's happy. Hopefully,
Do you think for families that, listen, if you think about your family, do you think that their minds could be changed? And if so, how? When it comes to people of other races?
It's really weird, because they all have friends that are not the same race as them.
But see, that's the interesting thing. A lot of people that don't believe in the mixing of relationships. Yeah. I have a black friend. I have a white friend. I have a Hispanic friend.
And
I have an Asian friend.
They're good friends.
But you just can't date them.
I don't understand it. I think that it's something weird with their brain. I don't. It's weird, but the fact that they can say, "Oh, one of my best friends is black," or "One of my best friends is Hispanic," okay, then what's the difference? I don't really understand. If you hate so badly on people in mixed race relationships, shouldn't you think the same thing about having a best friend that's a different race than you? That's just my opinion.
Yeah, it is. It's a little odd. It is very odd.
And something else you notice too, if you really think about it, most families, I'm just going to say it, that are racist in that way, their kids or grandkids have babies with the opposite race. And I think that is just gold. I think that is just awesome.
Because you know how grandparents feel about the grandkids.
Yes. So it's hard. It must be hard. It must be a pool, do you stick with the way that you've thought your whole life, or do you love them because they're your grandchildren? You know what I mean?
So I'm going to ask you this. Sorry, Jimmy, if she doesn't answer correctly. So let's say Jimmy's black. Jimmy, you're going to be all kind of racist before we're finished with this. Let's say he's, black, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, or whatever. And let's say that there's a trust set aside for you. Mm-hmm. And the conditions of you receiving that trust is you must marry and have children within your own race. Is Jimmy gone? Sorry again, Jimmy, I'm not trying to put a strain in your relationship.
No, I'm sneaky.
I don't think he's going to hear this.
That's fine. He knows I'm sneaky. So, but what I mean by that is, do I have to be married at all? Because I can just, say, oh yeah, he's gone, and kind of be like, yep, I'm tossing him to the side, and still be seeing him every single night. But I just won't get married until after all of them are dead. I mean, that's very
You're
morbid.
taking a risk on that one, because some of them might live forever just because.
I know, just out of spite. Yeah.
And I do wonder sometimes if there are people right now in relationships. This is probably going to open up a can of worms for couples who are listening to this. If they're in relationships right now with someone or married to someone of the same race, and they're only in that they settled because they knew
I'm sure
that their family would have a fit if they were with someone else. So I thank my parents for just, even though my husband is black, I'm black. Right. But I'm telling you, if a white man if I was dating a white man, he said, Felicia would marry me. Yes.
Yeah, if you love him. Yeah. And I'm glad that my ideas on it are not the same as my family's, just because I don't want my children to have that hate. Yeah. And I think my sister's the same way with my niece and my nephew. Like, you don't hate people just because of the color of their skin. Like, that's just not right. Because
like, when does it stop? Because you learn it, and that's all. And that's why
that's the thing.
I can't really be mad at kids who are racist, because they're only acting out what they've been taught.
Absolutely. And here's the thing too, is like going back to this whole like generations and generations after generations. This has only been passed down to you because of your family members. Mm-hmm. So what is the true reason that you hate the opposite race? Because it can't be from you and you alone. It has to be from, your mom and dad, your aunts and uncles, your grandparents. You know what I mean? Like, it's silly to pass these down. And if I would have followed how they think, I wouldn't have near as many friends as I do, dear friends, you know what I mean, that I consider to be lifelong friends. I don't understand. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to stop somewhere along the cycle. Yeah. And even if it doesn't stop, you're forcing your children to kind of do things in secrecy, because whether you like it or not, somebody in the family is going to go against what you
definitely
believe, quote unquote.
And that's when I think you have to stop and ask yourself, why does this even matter who you date? Because they're not going to pay your mortgage, your rent. Right. They're not going to pay for your wedding. Right. And they don't have to come to your house. So I just don't understand. Is it because there's a family portrait every year and they don't want to be at the country club and say, so that person, and like trying to come up with a story of why that person of a different race is in the picture, Yeah.
I think that for my family, it was never outright spoken to us. Mm-hmm. Like, even like with my uncles and my all that, it was never straight out said, like, you don't date a black person. But we knew. Mm-hmm. We knew that if we brought a black person home to that side of the family, it was done. And even now, seeing it as an adult, looking at what has happened to my cousin, you know what I mean? I don't really get along with her for different reasons. Mm-hmm. They are now not getting along with her because they don't like who she's sleeping with or who she's dating. That makes no sense to me.
And I always wondered, when the people are in relationships like that, if they're, in your cousin's case, she's not coming to a family event, but I'm wondering if there are interracial couples out here who, when there is a family event, they keep their spouse at home because they can't bring them. Like, that's not, to me, that's not a relationship. Yes, in a relationship, you have things you do by yourself. But family events, to me, are meant for family events, even a person that you're married to. Right. And I'm wondering how much strain does that put on the couple when it's like, it's dad's birthday, he's turning 60, I'll bring you a plate.
Yeah, right? Like, you can't come. Yeah,
it's like, I don't know. Maybe I would love to speak to a racist person, but then I'm thinking, maybe I'll let Jen do all the talking. I don't know, because there are some races they're cordial. Yeah. And there are some that they just have that hate so badly that just trying to have a conversation. I mean, I only dealt with it a few times. I was 14, met a guy, blonde hair, blue eyes, cute. And he was my weekend boyfriend. Cause I visit my cousin on the weekends. He lives a couple doors down in an apartment complex. So one Saturday, hey, you want to be my girlfriend? Yes. By that next, weekend, he introduced me to his dad. By that following weekend, we broke up.
Yep.
And I was like, what happened? He goes, I'm sorry. I cannot date you because you're black.
Yeah.
I said, are you serious? And he was like, I'm sorry. And he was not going to disrespect his dad.
Yeah.
So we had to break up. And I was like, wow, he broke up with me because I'm black. Mm-hmm. But then on the flip side of that, when I was in the third grade, I had a crush on a black guy who told me he would never date me because I was too dark. So I'm thinking, I can't get the black guy to date me. I can't get the white guy to date me. What other races are left?
I know.
But it's just weird because there's racism within races.
There is.
There are some black people that don't like black people.
Well, also, like, I honestly can say I've never encountered any racism from a black person. Like, I've never, ever had a black person look at me and say, you're white. I want nothing to do with you.
There's some out there. So
I'm sure there is. Now,
lucky.
I will say what I have encountered is, sorry to put Jimmy out there, but Jimmy had a group of friends, or still has a group of friends, and they are all black. And Jimmy just got accepted into this group of friends, and he's had them since he was probably started high school. And when I started coming around, they looked at me funny. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like, who's this little white girl that's like hanging around Jimmy? And I'm looking at them like, Jimmy's white. You know what I mean? So I guess because they loved him so much.
That's their brother.
They didn't even see that. But then when I came in, I'm a newbie. You know what I mean? They know me now, but they didn't know me then. So it was easy for them to pass that, like, can we trust her? I think it's more, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think for a black individual, it's just hard to trust sometimes.
I'll admit it. There are places I've gone. Both of my best friends, closest friends, are white, and I have at sometimes, if she says she wants to go to a restaurant that I've never been to, especially if it's in certain parts of the county, I do ask her, have you ever seen a black person in there? Because if not, I'm not going.
And that's extremely sad to me. Like, just to know that you could go somewhere and immediately feel so uncomfortable and feel like you don't belong there is really.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't want to be in there and this, my presence causes trouble. And if it's somewhere she frequents, I don't want trouble for her. And now they know, oh my gosh, she hangs out with this black girl.
Right.
And because I'm like, I'm approachable. I'm friendly. I'll talk to anybody.
You are.
But I'm also living reality and know that just my presence to some individuals would really cause them to act in a certain way. And I don't want that for anybody. But I do ask, and she's like, yes, Felicia, black people eat here too. But I do feel silly for having to say that. But again, I just don't want to be put in that situation where I'm afraid to eat my food.
Right, because you don't know.
Because I don't know.
You can't, and I think I'm grounded enough to where I realize that sometimes it is going to be like that. Like, sometimes they are going to look at me and be like, can I trust her? Like, not to, it's just a long line of oppression.
Don't worry. If you were black, they'll ask you that too. They'll say, brother. Men stick together with that. They're going to be like, look, bro, or bruh, as kids say. But I think even if you were black, I think it was still because they have that brotherhood.
Yeah.
They're going to be like,
it was just
who's this girl?
It's so funny to me to see, like, it's just funny, you know, that, of course, they've been friends for years and years and years and years. And also he has a Samoan best friend. Like, Jimmy's pretty, you know, he's got a wide variety of friends. Me, I like barely have any friends at all, so it doesn't matter. But, yeah, I think that was the first and really only time that I realized, like, oh, like, they're looking at me like that because they don't know if I'm going to come in and not like them because of the color of their skin. You know what I mean? So
now, our friend approvals, I know I asked you about family. What about your friends? Do they have to approve?
See, I will say that if my good friends don't approve, and it doesn't matter, I think for my friends personally, of course, it won't matter about their race. It'll matter, again, how they treat me. every single person that I am friends with, like my best friend, I've been best friends with her since preschool. So like 25 years now. My cousin is one of my best friends. So they love Jimmy. All of them do. My family, my friends. So even with, Jimmy has a past. Everybody does. I have a past. So it was a little hesitant at first. Like, okay, is he still the same person he was, or has he grown up?
And see, friends are more about, they don't even look at the race.
No, they don't.
Friends are about, okay, what is your pattern when it comes to women?
Yep.
Because any of my friends that have gotten married, we all have a pact that we meet a person.
Absolutely.
We tell them honestly how we feel, but we do not talk them out of it because they're an adult.
Right.
We let them make the decision. If something crazy happens, they know they can call me.
Yep.
But we are all about, you better not hurt her.
Yeah.
I have no problem threatening my friends' partners.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm very serious, especially since I've been around longer than they have.
Right. Yep.
And so we don't even look at color at all. It is seriously all about, you better treat my friend right, or someone's going to be on the bed net.
Exactly. And see, my cousin is more of the kick-ass type of like, I will hurt you. Now, my best friend from, preschool, she's an angel. Like, she just wants everyone to be happy. She doesn't have a speck of meanness in her body. And so she's more like, if he does do something wrong, then just move on. It's okay. Like everything's going to be fine. And then I have my cousin who's like, I will put them 6 feet in the dirt. No problem.
I think it's good to have that balance of the one that's like, hey, let's not do anything, get us in trouble. And you need that person's like, who's bothering you? Who do I need to talk to?
Exactly.
You have to have that balance.
But it's never been about race. And I will say, again, not to put my best friend out there, but she likes who she likes, men, women. And I think that's beautiful. Like, just do whatever you want to do. Like whoever you want to like. If you don't like them, take them out of your world. If you do like them, then who cares? Like, I don't,
and the thing is, families are going to have an issue with something you do anyway. Even if you're marrying the person they feel is right, there's going to be something else you're doing. Yes. You're not earning enough. I don't understand why you're still driving that car. Why do you even need that car? Why do you need that house? It's going to be something. You're putting paprika on top of the deviled eggs. There's going to be something. Like, you didn't make you made the 3-bean casserole with 2 beans. You know what I'm saying? They're going to find something. And that's why I'm like, when I know of, and I've heard of, couples where their biggest issue is the families because they're just not happy with that race. And it's like, come on, y'all. There are people dying all the time. You have each other. Spend the time together. So what? They're dark. You might learn something.
Right.
So what? They're Hispanic. You might learn something,
And my mom and my sister are my biggest supporters, like, in life. So I don't think that they would really have anything to say negative. I mean, of course, my sister wouldn't. My mom, I don't see her saying anything negative either, just because she loves me so much that it wouldn't matter to her. So she could think whatever she wanted to think, but she would never speak out loud about it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, she would never let that come in between a relationship that her and I have. So that's the good thing about true family, is that no matter what, I feel like they would stand beside you either way.
If you had the opportunity to speak to all of the racist people, black, white, because like there's race people that are Hispanic or racist. There's racism in every culture and every race. What would Rachel say to these racist people?
Get over yourself. Like, it is 2025. Okay. There is now I'm not saying you don't go back and learn about history, because a lot of things that happen everything that happened in history should have never happened.
Yeah.
These are not those times. And that type of thinking is going to put us right back to the past. I just don't understand your small thinking. I just don't get it. Just get over yourself. Let your kids love who they love. And like, this is the same thing for, families of gay individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are so against that their children pretend to be straight for the rest of their lives, and they are miserable for the rest of their lives because of you guys.
Because there are just some people in our life that we care so much about what they think.
Yep.
I was a person who used to do that. Like, you know, I would try I'm a very silly person sometimes. And, there are some people, and this is the honest truth, that there are some people that come into my presence, I shut down immediately. It's like I do it subconsciously, like I'm not even thinking about it, because they are so judgmental.
Yes.
It's like I don't want to say or do anything because I don't want to hear, Felicia, why did you say that? Felicia, why are you dressed like that? Felicia, why are you doing that? So I'll just, and someone pointed out to me one day, someone said, Felicia, you were completely fine until that person walked through the door. And I said, it literally happens like that. I shut down.
And I think with you too, like, you're a pretty good judge of character. Mm-hmm. So if where you shut down, I get a little mean. Like I get like everything they say, I'm kind of like rolling my eyes, and that's not good either because they can notice that I'm like kind of being a bit.
And I don't roll my eyes because I don't want them to tell me.
And see, I guess to me, I want them to subtly know, like
that their presence is bothering you.
Your presence is bothering me. But then that makes me. What does that make me?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's just, it's like, do you roll your eyes at them and make them know that you are uncomfortable with them, or do you just like, you know, do what you do? I think I just have the incapability of just completely
and I get mad when I do that.
Yeah.
I don't like it because I feel like I've given that person control.
Yeah, and you're shutting yourself
out.
Yes,
and that's not me. Like, I could be laughing, being silly, and this is what was happening that day. I was on a Zoom call with someone. We was a group of us on a Zoom call, being silly, laughing. Another person joined. Felicia was silent. And when we got off the Zoom call, someone texted me and called me out on it and said, Felicia, what was that?
You were talking
this person joined the call and you completely shut down. And I said, I know that, and it bothers me that I do that. I hate it, but it's like I can't control it.
You can't help it, yeah.
So anybody out there that's psychiatrists, y'all hit me up, and I can take some therapy sessions.
It's your defense mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
It's your defense mechanism.
And it's only with that person.
That's crazy. And you know, I feel like everybody has that person in their life, and it just follows you throughout. But then it leads us back to the how can people be racist thing? Mm-hmm. Like, are you going to carry this throughout your whole life and die on this? So
basically, what you're telling me, Rachel, is get over it.
I wouldn't say get over it, just because I know myself and I know that I will never get over it. Like, I have who I call an arch nemesis, okay? And she will always be that. We used to be friends, me and this person. And I don't want to say the word hate, because I don't hate.
You strongly dislike.
I strongly dislike her, and I will for the rest of my life.
That could change, though.
You know what I mean? So that's change. Like, are we hypocrites for this?
We can sometimes. I think we are sometimes. I think we are hypocrites sometimes. Yeah. I do agree with that.
I just feel like maybe I shouldn't be preaching to people about not liking other people when I also have this person that I dislike.
Because the thing is, racists will say, I don't like that race because I don't like her because.
Right. So it's the same exact thing. But at least she actually did something to me. Quite a few times.
Yeah.
So I can say that. Like, oh, I don't dislike her because she's white.
And I've always, and I wish I had asked this couple this. I was a server at a restaurant when I was 19, 20. Mm-hmm. And I remember they walked in and they were sitting in my section. When they found out that I was their server, they asked to be moved.
Oh.
They did not want me to serve them. And now that I'm older, I wish I had the nerve back then to say,
why? Yeah.
Why? I said, with me being black, how would you, it was a buffet. All I had to do was bring in the drinks and clean plates. So it's not like I was cooking the food.
Yeah. No, that's not funny. I don't know why I laughed so hard at that.
It's a buffet. You get up and you serve yourself.
You serve yourself.
I just have to make sure your dirty plates are off the table and I'm bringing you your drink. That is it. But they did not. And the manager said, Felicia, unfortunately, we get that. Wow. There are people that just don't want to be served by people of other races.
That's pretty
And I'm like, so I had no one in my section that night. So I was basically at work just to be hanging around. It was like a Monday night. It wasn't a big crowd.
Yeah.
And we all had like a whole section on those nights, and they were my only family that came in, and I was just clocked in just to be clocked in cleaning because I didn't make any tips that night.
That's crazy.
Because they did not want me to serve them. I'm like,
some
really?
people, they're
and their kids were there.
Oh yeah.
So I wonder, are the kids now doing that whenever they go to a restaurant?
That is where you are literally piling your thoughts and your values and beliefs onto your children. And I can understand, like, I can understand good values and beliefs.
Oh yeah,
you want to pass
definitely.
that down to them, the loyalty, the love, the caring, the respect, all this stuff. But that is also something that does get passed down to children, like time and time and time again. And I don't understand. And it's funny that you say that you were an equal opportunist, because I'm going back to that, because I don't know how Jimmy, who's my fiance, I don't know how he ended up with a white girl. I don't, because he likes black girls. His first kiss was a black girl. And he just, every time, like,
maybe when he looks at you, he sees a black woman. I don't know.
I have no idea. It's crazy to me. But like Glorilla, he will stare at the TV. Like it's so very obvious that he is like extremely attracted to black women. Do you, boo? You know what I mean? But it's like, why? And maybe I'll ask him that.
Ask him.
Like, why did you end up with me? I'm so white. Like, I'm literally the epitome of like,
you are the one that he loves. He fell in love with. You're the one that he's compatible with, has a future with. He's seen something in that, and that's why. Because I don't think a man is going to ask a woman to marry him if he doesn't see a future with him.
Yeah, no, definitely not. But
he may look at you and be like, "I think she's black. You're light skinned. You're not white. You're light skinned."
And I've heard people say, like, "Oh, you're definitely invited to the cookout," just because, like, I'm just gonna say it, the way that black people cook food. I love it.
You're going to have high blood pressure and high cholesterol, but yeah.
Like the greens.
Oh, I love me some greens with fat back.
Oh my God. I could eat a whole pot of greens. Like it just, and.
But do you see what we just did?
What did we just do?
We categorized greens.
See, we're hypocrites.
There are white people
I will say,
that eat greens too.
I am one of those white people. But I'm going to tell you what. Maybe this is me being racist against white people, because I will not eat greens made by a white person.
What?
I will not. No, I won't. I had a coworker, I used to work with. His mom is 101 years old.
Aww.
Yes. And she used to make greens for our company parties. And she got to the point where she was making me my own pot, and he was bringing me my own big thing of greens. And I just told him, I said, I don't know what she does or how she makes these. I don't know, but I love her. Tell her I am in love with her. And he's like, okay, I'll tell her, rolling his eyes at me. But I say that all the time. And some would say that I'm racist towards white people's cooking, but I'm sorry. They just don't do it. They don't do it right.
We believe in a lot of seasoning.
Yeah. Hey, whatever it is. Keep on doing it.
We put our foot in it. So you're tasting toe jam.
It's delicious. I don't even regret it.
And that is interesting that we ourselves have our own way of placing people in categories by race. It's just like, did I pick up some of that when I was growing up? Well, I'll tell you one thing I was told when I was growing up.
What?
That I wouldn't be able to get far in my career because I'm black, because the man, still looking for the man would not let me. So I'm guessing the man is a white man? I did hear that a lot.
I mean, but now I think you can look at them and like,
a big
ol' F you.
I'm black and then I'm a woman, because women being in a leadership position.
You're literally in a leadership position.
Yeah.
So a big F you, whoever said that. But that is interesting.
Yeah. I think sometimes we do hear that sometimes in black culture, in the black family, is that the man, which still.
But was that because you were a woman Just a woman?
I think a woman.
Or a black woman?
A woman, I think both, because I think a lot of the comments came from black men because they felt they were being not given the same opportunities as a white man because they were black.
Right.
So the man's going to hold you back.
And I think, too, another thing that people need to realize is a white person can never, ever put themselves in a position. Like, they can never say, oh, I was oppressed or I was, and it's all about being, like, culturally grounded. Like, be available to sit and listen to other people. That's really all it is. Like, if you sit and you respect people and you listen to people, then maybe there wouldn't be so much hate in the world.
I think we all have a mixture of races in our family. I think if we did enough history, somebody slept with somebody, and then as the generations went, people in your family just got lighter and lighter. You never know.
Yeah. Like, you know how funny that would be?
Yes.
I would love to take that and shove that into some faces in my family and just be like, look at this. Like,
I was like, oh, Uncle Billy.
Yep.
He met a girl back in the day in the 1400s in Keisha.
Yep.
They got together.
Well, you know what? I would love it. I think that would be like the ultimate smack in the face that I would just love.
Because we don't know. We really don't know. I mean, I think if we go back very far, we don't know who's in our family.
No, you don't. And a lot of people are still afraid to do the Ancestry.com thing.
Yeah.
I actually did. And so it's kind of hard though, because if you don't pay like a certain amount of money, like, you really can't go
so far.
Right. So I literally only got like what I am. I'm a mutt, really. I am, because I come from like here, there, and everywhere, whatever. But I was like, I'm not paying that much money just for them to tell me about people in my family that I ain't even gonna know. You know what I mean? So no, I'm good. But I bet you if I did pay the money, like, oh yeah, that would be so fun to be like, ha,
Guess what? Your great grandfather is black.
Sucks for you.
So you better learn how to cook those greens.
I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Wow. Well, this has been fun.
It has been fun.
Yeah. You and I spent a lot of time together.
Yeah.
And I still have 2 more people to talk to.
I think this is a topic that needs to be talked about too. Because if you are like a grown adult, having hard conversations is just a part of life. Yeah. So I'm glad.
Now, look, I can't come up with politics because I know nothing about politics.
Yeah.
So that will probably never be a topic on this podcast. Because I know one of them is a donkey and one's an elephant. And that's all I know.
I don't know which is which. I don't know which is which. I'm not even going to lie.
But this has been fun. So I do have 2 other people coming in later. So I'm going to pause us. So those who are listening, when I come back on, you'll be hearing the voice of Liz and Cameron. But thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
And thank you, Jimmy, for being a great sport while listening to this.
Thanks, babe.
All right. See you later, Rachel. Bye.